Hey, what's going on? Thank you guys for joining, and welcome to the first ever episode of my new series called Target Check. Target Check is a series following up with Market Targets, the first ever series on my YouTube channel, which is pretty much a follow up of the predictions I made for the forex market and to see if my predictions were correct or not, and also to review any of the trades I did enter. I'm going to refresh you guys with the pairs I did choose for the week. I had chosen Euro CHF, CHF JPY, CAD CHF, Euro NZD, AUD CAD, NZD CAD, GBP NZD, and Euro GBP. So those are the pairs that I picked for the week. I'm gonna go straight into Euro CHF, which I had predicted to go short, and my prediction was correct. So as you see here on the weekly, boom, it closed on with a bearish candle, and over here on the daily, was where I wanted to look for my trade. Just I wanted a rejection from this resistance level right here, which it did happen, but I did not enter this trade. This trade I did not enter just because of how the daily time frame looked. I did not like that it did break this structure right here. And since it broke that structure, it completely made me look away from this trade. And 2 days later, after I looked away, boom, the move happened. The move happened on the smaller time frames, the 1 hour and the 30 minute. If you see here, the move started in the 1 hour, boom, right after this bullish structure was broken. And right after it was broken, the entry I would have entered was probably right here. And if I would have entered this short, it would have been a crazy freaking move. Holy shit, I didn't even know. Let me see. Holy crap, I would have hit a 1 to 3.7. Jesus. All right, well, damn, I didn't even see that before making this video. This is freaking hilarious. Just to give you guys a little history, I've been on a 3 week winning streak, and this week I ended my P&L negative. The first week I decided to actually record my trade sessions and review sessions. So it's funny how life works, but it is what it is. We'll move on to the next, and hopefully next week I can take some W's. But either way, let's keep reviewing the rest of these trades. Let me reverse a little bit with Euro CHF. You see here, it would have been a crazy move. I'm not sure if anyone did catch this, and if you guys did, please let me know in the comments down below. I want to see what risk to reward you guys hit. But besides that, let's move on to CHF JPY. CHF JPY, I want a long on it. If you go here on the daily, daily got disrespected, and as soon as I got disrespected with this candle right here, it pretty much just decided to go to the downside. I predicted myself for it to go long just because I saw that it was rejecting this support level right here and it hadn't broken through it just yet, and that ended up breaking through it. So once it broke through it, I had a feeling it was just going to go to the downside, which it did. One of the reasons that I had a feeling it might have gone to the downside, as I mentioned in my market target series, was this pin bar right here on the top of the weekly trend. This weekly trend looked a little bit off just because of how that closure of the week before happened. And pretty much this candle decided the whole week for this week. And as you can see here, it was a pretty good move to the downside if anyone was looking for this to the downside. So whoever caught this to the downside, congrats, great move. Because let me go down to the 2 hour. Let me actually go down to the 1 hour. If we would have caught a 1 hour time frame move, would have hit it down here. That would have been actually insane. Let me see a short on this as well. Let me see where I would have thought to enter. I would have probably entered not on this time frame, probably on this one. Boom. Actually, I wouldn't have entered. I probably would have entered down here, and for me, it probably would have been too risky. But even though I would have entered, I probably would have hit 1, 2, 3.27. Unrealistic though, I would have not held this. My psychology would have not held me through this trade that long in order for it to hit all the way down there and go through all of these support and resistance levels. So not a trade for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys did enter this trade. Next up is CAD CHF. CAD CHF, I had wanted a buy on it. I wanted to go long. Let me see. Boom, it did go long in the first 3 days of the week and then the last 2 days on a retracement. So it's giving you a good opportunity for next week, which is fantastic. But one of the reasons I did not enter was because if you would have seen my video, I wanted this first daily candle to close for me to find an entry, but it closed a bit too bullish for me. And since it closed a bit too bullish, I couldn't find myself a new risk to reward that I was comfortable with. So since I couldn't find one that I was comfortable with, I just didn't trade it. But I did predict the move to go to the upside, and that's exactly what it did. Pretty sure it did like a little inverted head and shoulders right here, and boom, went to the upside. Let me go here. Yeah, you see here to the 2 hour, little inverted head and shoulders. If you go over here and you invert the scale, boom, head and shoulders. So it was pretty clean. Whoever caught this, great job. Boom, shift the structure right here. Went to the upside, shifted the trend. I probably would have hit a long right around here. Boom, boom, boom. Would have put my stop loss right around here and probably an entry right around here. So I would have hit a quick 1 to 2, 1 to 2 on the daily time, on the 2 hour time frame. So yeah, it was a good trade. Whoever would have caught it. Um, Hopefully you guys wanted a long on this one as well and took a dub. Let me know down in the comments below. All right, so I'm gonna move on to Euro NZD. Euro NZD went all over the place this week. It went all over the place this week. I actually wanted a counter trend trade, which is um, risky, but it's on the weekly time frame, so you could work it a bit more. If you go to the weekly time frame, it's definitely on a bearish run. And if you go over to the daily, I'd say it is on a bullish run that has been broken, but I still wanted to see how it went out through the week, but it was pretty sporadic. If you go over here, it started off with a like long bearish candle, then rejected this support level right here just to go to the upside, and going to the upside pretty much predicted the long move that I wanted. And if you can see here on the daily, it kind of did a double bottom, but I'd say it disrespected it just because the next day right after it went to the downside. I'm gonna get back to you guys on why this candle went to the downside. Just some news hit, and that news was pretty eventful, to be honest. But I'll go over that in a bit. Actually, on another pair, not even on this pair. If you go over to this 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, boom, went down, then right back up. You see here, it did a crazy double bottom. Actually, this is one of the craziest double bottoms I've actually seen. Now you go over to the 2 hour time frame, boom, it went bearish, then it went bullish. I would have probably entered right around here, and I did not, just because I was in another trade. And since I was in another trade, I did not want to enter two trades at the same time. It's not a rule that I have, but I have to be very confident in both of my trades in order to be in two at the same time. It's just me, my psychology works like that. But regardless, let's see what risk reward I would have hit. I'm actually mad at myself. Every single trade that I would have taken this week would have hit easily a 1 to 3, except for the two that I entered, which is freaking crazy. Like, look at this shit. You're talking about a 1 to 4.3. I didn't enter this just because. Let me see what time this was. This is a great entry time too. This is exactly where my session starts. Like, to be honest, I was eating crap. That's all I can say. I didn't want to be aggressive this week just because I saw that it was a bit slow week, but it ended up being a freaking great week for trading. Regardless, whoever got this long or even this short, because whoever wanted this short to the downside would have got a great move as well. So let me know down below who entered your NZD, and if you guys got a long or a short, and if you guys won it, because throughout the week, if you go to the daily, it went up and down all week. So I don't even know who would have caught what. Let me know down below in the comments, guys. Next up, AUD CAD. AUD CAD, if you guys saw my market target episode, it was a trade that I was already in when I posted it. It was the first trade of the week. I did it around 9 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. And as you can see here, I lost, and I didn't follow my rules, which is one of the reasons why I lost. I'll get more into that right now. Let me go down to the weekly. The weekly pretty much looks the same. Looks like it's just consolidating above this resistance on the daily. Support on the daily. And if you go here, the support level, boom, it did get respected like how I predicted. And I guess I was just asking too much from the market, being a bit too greedy. I wanted it to pretty much meet this structure point right here in order for me to get out. And I did not. I decided to um, pretty much wait for this to close above this structure, and it did not. It went right to the downside as soon as some AUD news hit, and it hit to the downside. So it pretty much did the opposite of what I wanted it to do. If it would have hit positively on AUD CAD, then this candle would have been to the opposite side. I would have hit it automatically, and I would have won the trade. But that's not the case here. I took a L. Took a L after all the other pairs I predicted right. Took a major W, but that's life. Now, if you go here, one of the reasons why I say I lost because I did not want to follow my rules is just because I had a 1-to-1, and once I hit a 1-to-1, I usually move my stop loss on MetaTrader over to my break even, and I did not. I was being a bit too confident on this trade, thinking it was gonna go 100% up, even though that this bearish engulfing did a crazy push to the downside, which completely destroyed the smaller time frames. And since it did the smaller time frames, a shift of structure to the downside. If you see here, the 30-minute boom, it just kept it going until pretty much Thursday when it started rising a little bit. Then here you see it hit the support level I had already set once more, and then went a bit up more to upside now actually today. And I was doing a retracement on a 4-hour support level that I have here that might be actually cooking up for next week for a re-entry. But regardless, I'm gonna watch this one a bit more carefully just because I took a L on it this week. Pretty pissed off that I took an L on this week just because this is a trade that I actually wouldn't lose any money on, but I did just because I was a bit greedy, to be honest. Moving along to NZD CAD, another L I took. This one I actually took today. Again, I got hit with some news on the USD. USD's news hit negatively, and since it hit negatively, it affected the CAD pairs. If you guys do not know, USD and CAD pairs cross pair correlate. That means that pretty much when one has power, the other one has power. When one loses power, the other one will lose power. So if you guys did not know that, keep that in mind, and it will help you pretty much either avoid losses that you could be taking, or enter two trades at the same time and make twice the amount of money. But be careful because not all pairs are the same. There's a few pairs that move almost exactly the same, and there's a few that do not, but news does affect them the same way. So, moving along to how I lost this trade after I predicted a great move, which was a move that I had missed on Wednesday. So the move happened on Wednesday. I actually told my community to enter this trade, and they did enter this trade, um, and they won. I believe like 4 or 5 people won this trade, and I did not. I did not want to enter just because I had just taken the L on AUD CAD, and since I took the L on AUD CAD, I didn't want to enter this just in case. And my just in case was completely wrong. I could have entered this crap and would have won. So that's just a lesson for me. Now, just be more aggressive for myself at least next week. I was very conservative and took the moves right before news hits, and I don't like doing that. Pretty much did not follow most of my rules this week just because I was very confident in the moves I took. Out of the 8 pairs I took 2 moves, and those 2 moves were wrong. And I'd say 5 out of my other 8 pairs did the move correctly. So if I would have hit the other 5, we'd be talking a whole different game plan. So let's move along to GBP NZD. GP NZD, same thing with Euro NZD. Those are two cross pair correlating pairs. So if you go over to the daily, they're pretty sporadic, but as you can see here, they formed the inverted head and shoulders, which I had assumed it was going to be forming since the beginning of the week. It was a great move right after this structure went right back to this resistance level. It broke on the 4 hour and became a support level. And then after it became a support level, you would have had a small move. I wouldn't have taken this move at all. For me, the move was already gone. The move you should have probably taken down here, but I did not like that entry. I did not like that it was under a resistance instead of a support, so I did not enter this trade. But I believe two people entered this trade on a short actually, and they lost. So told them next time watch my market target series so they don't lose. Next up was Euro GPB. Euro GBB, I was guessing a short on this as well. It did the short yesterday. I don't like this pair too much because in order for it to do a move, it usually consolidates too much and then does it. And then when it does it, it's too quick and you miss it. Or you're too scared to enter because the risk or reward won't match. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't enter this trade. But I actually would have gone on a perfect move right around here on the 30-minute. Let me show you this short. Boom. I would have actually put my stop loss right where this structure point is. And I would have hit a 1 to 2.86 pretty much. So another great move for the week that I missed. Next week is going to be a whole different story, guys. I guarantee you that. I will be aggressive. I will be on top of the charts. I will be making sure I'm going to be winning trades. Simple as that. I was on a 3 week winning streak. I'll be right back on it next week. Don't worry. Besides that, I am done reviewing all the pairs for the week. So I hope you guys liked it. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys did enter any of the pairs that I had predicted. And if you guys did, let me know how it went. If you guys won, if you guys lost. And if you guys did enter any other trades, please let me know down below to see if I could review any of the trades you guys might have entered.